Hello everyone, you're welcome back. It's Decrease here, and I'll be your friend, your host, and your tutor. And today we are going to be talking about lower time frame trading, right? Lower time frame trading. I know I've promised this video for a very long time. I have not had time to actually put it together, but I finally have the time to. So it's not going to be a very long video, right? And this video, please, is specifically not for beginners. It is only for people who know how to trade already. Disclaimer, it is not for beginners. It is strictly for those who already know how to trade. So I would just say seasoned traders or already traders, right? That being said, let's jump right straight into the video. So lower time frame trading is typically the same with higher time frame trading, only that now you're trading on a more minute time frame. Permits me to use that word. Minute, I mean small. You're now trading on a smaller time frame, and you know the characteristics of trading on a much fractal level of price, because we say price action is the same, or price action is fractal, right? But the lower time frame actually has a function, right? The lower time frame delivers price to the higher time frame. And if you actually want to trade the lower time frame with peace, there are certain rules you need to put in place, right? And there are certain principles you need to actually follow. You may not know these principles, but actually you're going to know a lot of them today, right? Now, what are the advantages of trading lower time frame? Faster result outcomes. Faster trade outcomes. You actually get to see price on a more, or you get to actually take higher reward trades, right? Higher reward trades and faster trade outcome. Unlike higher time frames where you typically have to wait for so many days or even sometimes hours or sometimes weeks for your trades to play out. On the lower time frame, it's not that way, because you're going to typically have your trades play out in a day or less. In fact, less than a day safe. What am I saying? There are trades I've taken in the past that didn't even last up to 1 hour. There are trades I took in the past that didn't even last up to 1 hour, right? So that's too much talk for people who are already traders. So let's jump right straight into the video. So there are little principles I need you to actually be very familiar with, and I'm going to be teaching you lower time frame trading, the confirmations I use, and how I align it with session. And for this video, I'm going to be typically focusing on just buy trades that I took in the past, or buy trades I have took in the past few weeks, right? Buy trades, I mean longs, not shorts. You could actually do your own research and look at the chart and see if these principles I'm going to be stating in this video, if they actually apply in a bearish market, because we've been bullish for a while on Euro USD, right? So the first things first, we need to talk about the confirmations we use, the candle confirmations we use. The candle confirmations we use does not really exceed what you already know, right? We use change the state of delivery, which is other block. I plan to do a video on that much later. Change the state of delivery, which is another block. We also use when price engulfs a specific source candle. When we have price engulf a specific source candle, we can take entries from the engulfing. And finally, by that I mean this is what I mean, right? The first one is like we have the change in state of delivery, which should look something like this. So we have like very minute price action, and we have something like price stick this high out and then come into it, right? Price take that high out and come into it, right? We could actually take entries from something like this, right? And we also have candle confirmation, engulfing candle confirmations. You guys know the engulfing candles, where we have when the source candle digs into the liquidity pool, we typically tend to have price engulf, right? This engulf is a sign of what's volume, or a sign of money transfer. That's when price actually moves from an area of from a sell perspective or to a buy perspective. Most times the last candle you see when something like that happens, when there is a change in state of delivery, is most times an engulfing bar, which is the bullish candle engulfs the previous bearish candle, right? And then lastly, we can also take entries from when price closes above a certain level. So we don't even typically have to wait for the engulfing bar to fully form, because most times when you wait for the engulfing bar to form and you mark out the candle that was engulfed, price does not come back to it. Price can just probably skip you and go, right? So sometimes when price engulfs above that candle, right? Above the source candle, you tend to take entries from where it's engulfed, that's market entry, and then your stop loss will be slightly below that candle, right? So you could also take entries from market price, right? CMP, current market price. So there are two key things I want us to do in this video. Number one is if you're an already trader, you need to be familiar with key levels. What are key levels? Our points of interest. These are what key levels are. Our points of interest. We have breaker blocks, other blocks. Another block is the same as the CST. It's the same as the CST, right? Breaker blocks, other blocks, fair value gaps, and so many others, right? So, and a key level is also a demand zone. It could be a support and resistance. It could be whatever you make it be, right? So you need to already know what a key level is, right? And if I'm not being wrong, we do know as traders that when we have a trend like this, an established trend, price breaks above a high, we tend to have this entire area being a demand zone, right? And then we start to look for our blocks, the blocks that, or the points of interest this time around that are valid, that we could actually use to push price to the upside. So when price corrects back or retraces back, we have an expansion or a continuation in that same direction, because a break or structure continues price in the same direction, right? So there are principles that you need to actually put in place when price is coming to the key level. Number one is we're going to have our key level, a valid key level that has been unmitigated. Number two, we need price to sweep below a session's low, right? For buy, we need price to sweep below a session's low for a buy setup. Like I said, I'm going to be just discussing about buy setups, right? So let's say we have this as a London session low, or it could be the Asian session low, it could be the New York session low, whatever session it is. We need price to sweep below a session low before we can actually have the buy continuation, right? So let's say this is a London. I'm trying to draw an L to signify London, but it's not working, so I'm going to just forget that. So we need to see price do something like this, where we have here as K, which is a key level. We need to see price sweep below a low, a session low, tag into the key level, and form any of our confirmations. That's it. Either it forms it shows the change in state of delivery, or it actually prints another block, whatever it wants to print. As long as you know how to trade, you know when price is intending to reverse, right? And boom, 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 boom. We typically want to target the highs, because the highs are what places where price is drawn to, right? The highs are places where price is drawn to. So enough talking. Let's go to the chart and look at. I think I'm going to replay the price action and simulate it in real time to tell you what I mean. I'm going to be taking fewer trades, but high risk to reward trades and high value trades, like trades that high win rates. That's the word, high win rate trades, right? Trades that would typically play out when you follow the rules correctly. These are trades I'm going to be showing you in the next 10 minutes, right? So let me completely clear all of this, and I don't want to move too far, so I'm just going to do the simulation from the current price action, right? I'll do the simulation from the current price action. Like I said, I'm going to be ignoring, and we trade the lower time frame in accordance with the higher time frame. So please do know that the lower time frame actually must agree with the higher time frame. The lower time frame must agree with the higher time frame. The lower time frame must agree with the higher time frame, right? The lower time frame must agree with the higher time frame. So yes, I'm currently on the 15 minutes. I also like to use 5 minutes, but I don't want to be jumping back and forth between time frames. So I think the best time frame to simulate this video is going to be on the 15 minutes time frame. So for the time frames you use for your confirmations, M15, if it's not showing you on M15, you can go down to M5 and look for your confirmations, right? Also do note that there's going to be so many missed entries, right? There's going to be so many missed entries. You're not going to have it your way all the time. Just know that you're not going to have it your way all the time. There's going to be so many missed entries, right? So don't think you're going to be perfect at it. And also the losses do exist. So when you fail the rules, or when you get it wrong, you're going to actually also suffer the consequences. It's literally just that, right? Okay, so let us start from, I think I would start from here. I don't want to do too much, so I'm probably going to start from where I would, starting from here, go far. Starting from here, go far. Let me leave all of this price action and just quickly start from here. There's something I want to explain here before I actually move on, because we're going to actually see price come below here. Okay, before that, let me just start from here. There's really no big deal. Let me start from here. Okay, so I'm going to simulate this price action. Let me first expand my charts. Then I'm going to cut price, and I'm going to just literally trade. So I'm going to cut price. Let's see here. Better. So do know that you're not going to be. Let me turn off this indicator. Okay. All right. So you're not going to actually have trades all the time. So it's always very, very, very important to have the bias from the higher time frame first. Have the bias from the higher time frame first, and use your lower time frame confirmations to actually get in on the trade. Have the bias on the higher time frame first, use your lower time frame confirmations to get in on the trade, right? So we're going to be starting off, and already here we have this huge imbalance, which is here, and price corrected that, and we had a close. Although we had an internal shift here, that was mitigated. Had an internal shift there that was mitigated and left behind an order block, right? So I would be expecting price to actually feed into this level, because we have typically shifted, because we've closed above this high. That's the session high. So let me just see here. There is my appropriate shift, and I'll be expecting price to come into here. So now limit order traders, because lower time frame traders, they tend to actually take more confirmations, right? Limit order traders will just draw this order block and then just mark out their entries, and concern them. They literally make profits. But then as a lower time frame trader, you can actually wait for the confirmations to show up before you start to execute, right? There's no rush. So I'm going to play price, and then we're going to wait until let's say it's probably the next day. We're going to wait until price comes into that point of interest. We want to see how price reacts from that point of interest. Note, we need to have a session. Price sweep a session into that point of interest, right? So do note that we need to have price sweep a session into that point of interest. So we have price still going. This thing is not pausing when I want it to pause. Trying to see if it's my network. It's not pausing when I want it to pause. It's supposed to be that accurate. Okay. All right. So I think we now have we have this in New York session. I think the London session is blue, New York session is yellow, Asian session is pink, because we have Asia, London, and we have New York finally, right? So we are still going. I don't know if it's the speed, and I can't reduce it past that because I can't be that slow. So the New York session, I want to see if it is going to get that entry tagged. We still have not fed into that point of interest. There are so many trades you would have taken here, but then I'm following a certain principle. So I just want to show you how waiting is very important, right? Although it seems like we do now have a high, which is going to serve as a valid target point in the future, right? So price is still going, okay. Now, so what happens? We've tagged this point of interest, right? And we've also swept the New York session on that point of interest, right? We have a sweep of the New York session on that point of interest, right? So now we're going to be waiting for price to close above this level, price to give us our CSD. So price has closed above that, right? Price has closed above that. So many times you typically want to enter from here, right, and move up. But I want to see a proper, let's see if a proper order block is going to show, right? So you can see we've actually tagged into that level, right? When we had price close above that change in states, right, and we had this other block here, price mitigate this other block here. Now you could enter. So you can see if you want to trade lower time frames, you typically need to also be on your screen, like 2-4. When I trade lower time frames, I tend to make sure I'm not busy. I do not have work. I do not have study. I do not have school. Nothing. I'm like literally free for the day. That's when I can trade lower time frames. Right now, I'm actually starting my pharmacy internship, so I do not have the luxury of time to start trading lower time frames. This is why many of you see my charts now on H4, H1, and you ask, where is the lower time frame tech risk? I do not have time to sit on my screen all day. But trust me, if you actually learn how to trade lower time frame, it's fun. It's very, very fun. So enough talking. I'm talking too much in this video. Enough talking. Let's go. So typically, want your stop losses to be below this low, right? Below this low. Now this is a 6-hour trade. Now let's see how it's gonna play out. You can see that very beautiful, very, very beautiful. Although you could still keep taking entries from any other block as you wish, depending on your technical know-how, right? Depending on your technical know-how. And in no time, we actually have price take what our price do was take or tag our take profits. And this is literally 6 hours. It is, if you leverage this on MC5 and MC4, you'll be in for a lot of money. You'll be in for stupid cash. This is $600 on a $100 risk, right? So you can see how easy that was. Let's simulate it in a new one. Now we have a break of structure. Price closed above this high. We have price closed above this high. I'll typically want price, because now if I actually squeeze this in and I have my shifts and my confirmation, I'll typically want price before we have a move to the upside. I would want price to at least reach 50% of this zone before we can actually have price move up to the upside. I want price to reach 50% of this zone. All right, so let's see if it's going to reach. But that notwithstanding, price sometimes do not do that, right? Or price comes back later on in the future to do that, right? So I'll just keep that there and we just watch what price does. So now we have this level and we have price expanding. Okay, what's happening? What's happening? We had a sweep, but I don't trade FVGs, so someone who trades FVG might be able to take his entry from me. I do not know, but I don't trade FVGs because I tend to prefer other block as like a valid. Okay, boom. Okay. We didn't really come into it, but we came close. Whatever is pushing price from this level, I do not know. Whatever is pushing price from this level, I do not know, but I'm seeing that we now have a minor shift in price here. We now have a minor shift in price there. So I'm just going to be waiting for price to come into this point of interest that it has created here, right? And I'm going to be waiting for it to take out this high. Now this high is now my new target, right? We still have price needing to come into this level, but for the meantime, we have this. Let's see if we actually get respected. Now, a limit order trader would have already set his trade on that zone, and literally he's on his way making money, and you're wherever you are at seeking confirmations. Okay, so let's see what happens. We start to see price. Okay, we've dug into that level again, but still we didn't really sweep a session into it. Let's see. Now we have the London session forming. Okay, we have the London session forming close to it. Boom. So what happened? The New York session cleared the London session's low. So when it cleared the London session's low and came into the point of interest, we'll now be waiting for a change in state of delivery. So I would typically want to see price go above this high. Typically want to see price go above this high, right? Although that's a breaker block. It depends on, let's see how price takes out this level. Let's see how it takes it out. So very beautiful price action. Oh wow, can see that expansion, right? You can see that expansion. Literally, you can see that expansion, and that was the reason why price tagged this breaker block. This should not even be more than 3 hours. This should not be more than 3 hours. I may not really take this trade because the risk to reward is not really something I fuck with. It's not really something I vibe with. So I may not really take this trade, but that's where the entry is supposed to be. So let's see what happens. Okay, beautiful. We have price keep expanding to the upside. We now have another break. Let me stop drawing these lines. These lines are literally distracting. Let me take off these lines. I think I would use more of trend line 2 to draw it. So we now have this break. We now have this break of structure. Let us see the highest point price forms. And I'm going to take this off so I could be able to see clearly. So I want to see price come into any of these levels, and so our demand zone, like I've said, is going to be here, right? So I want to see price sweep liquidity into any of those session, into any of those key levels, and let's see what happens. Okay, let's see what happens. Very choppy day. Okay, some days you just do nothing, some days you make money, some days you do not, right? Some days you make money, some days you do not. Okay, so also you could also go above the time frame to look at what price is doing. I think I would not even be interested in trading until price has taken this low, right, and come into equilibrium. So but let's just see we could still make a new high. Let's see. Okay, I think price has even come into a demand. Price has come into a demand here. This is a demand that was left behind when price mitigated that breaker block. Price has come into a demand, and price has swept the London low. And not just that, this demand also has an inducement, very valid and very clean demand, right? And price has engulfed, right? Price has engulfed this mitigated source candle that mitigated the range, right? So price has engulfed. Literally at this point, you could market execute on this level, right? Your targets would be on this high, and then your stop losses would be here below this low. So this is like 4 hour. It's like 4 hour. Let's see how this one turns out. Although I may not really take this one because I would need price to be efficient first before I can actually proceed to taking a new entry. But then let's see. Okay, you can see that now this low was taken, and price fed into this demand properly, right? Price fed into this demand properly. So if I actually want to even take a trade, I will not take any until price has come above this level and close with the body. So when price comes above this level and closes with the body, this is another block here, although it has been mitigated already. Like I said, in a new video I'm going to teach other blocks explicitly, right? I don't know when that's going to be out, but in a new video I'm going to teach other blocks explicitly. But then anywhere from above here, I'll be able to take entries, right, safely. I want to see price close above that level, although this other block looks mitigated already, so I don't think price is going to be coming down again. So we may have the last buy. Remember, targets on the high and stop losses on the low. So this should be 3 hour, right? 3 hour. So let's see if it plays out. You are my star. If it doesn't play out, you just leave it and wait for. Okay, at this point, you can even break even and wait until price takes that high. It's all risk and reward. So I think price is very close to the point. Okay, boom. You can see that price has taken the TP, and we have 3R, right? Now, if you're even still interested in trading that range, because I have a theorem, when price is not efficient, you could still be trading. You could still be trading until price data becomes efficient. You could still be trading with every information you see, right? So remember, we have a low that I need price to take out for the new trend to now be assumed. I need that low to be taken out, but it doesn't defeat the fact that price can come into a valid level and you can also trade from that level as well. Now, we also have a shift above this level. And this is now the new target high. I'm going to remove that. And price has swept the London session into this level. Price has swept the London session's low into whatever demand zone is here. Into this demand zone, and we can see a change in state of delivery or an engulfing bar. This engulfing bar here. Although this trade may not really be so much, you may not really have so much RR from it. Let's say 1 or 2 R. You can see that we first took a loss here. So -1R. We got a win here. This 3R. So total 2R. If this one plays out, this is like so you're entering at like current market price now. This is another 3R. Let's see how it plays, right? Let's see how it plays. And boom, it should get taken out. Right, boom. So 3R, 3R, 6R minus 1R, that's like 5R. So you've recovered at the end of the day, right? Just following a specific rule. So you may not even want to trade again until price has established a new high. So now we've had a close. We've had a bullish close, right? A bullish close above this high, right? We've had a bullish close above this high. So I'm going to take this off. Right, price has broken structure again. Now with 3 times, I expect that price is now going to reverse and come to seek a major liquidity range, which is here. So let's see what happens. I may just decide to not trade because I have already made so much money in the first 2 days of trading, on the first 1 week of trading, and you could just sit on your hands and wait until price takes this low, right? Just wait until price takes this low. So while price is coming, you could still be doing another thing. You could still be studying. You could be doing so many other things. And I'm seeing something very beautiful. I said I wasn't going to talk about sales, but I'm seeing something now, right? We have price do something like this. This is a high. This is a low. Now price is supposed to take out this high, right? The rule of break or structure is supposed to take out this high. Now, because price didn't take out this high, price failed to take out the high. Can see what price did. See what price did. Price came here and dropped. Anything that will make price drop below this low and close with a body, right? Body close. I would start expecting price to drop and probably take out this low, right? I said price to drop and probably take out this low. And you know how we take out confirmations as well. I said I wasn't going to talk about sales, but I just saw something interesting. My students know I love the failure swing entry model very well. So sorry about that. Let me remove that stuff. Let me remove it. So yes. Now let's see what happens. If we have a close below this low, then we could actually start looking for sales. Let's see. Oh, no close. Oh, we have a close, right? We have a close below that low. Now, this range was mitigated, or that level was mitigated. This level as well was mitigated. This is the reason why I said only for seasoned traders, right? So if you don't even know what mitigation is, how do you expect to understand? Now, I would also want to see price. This is the fair value gap. This is the other block. This is a mitigation block here. So anything from here right? So I would also typically want to see price take out the London session high before we sell. So you can see for the buys, we need to take out a session's low. For the sells, we need to take out a session's high. Do you feel me? For the buys, we need to take out a session's low. And you can see even before this failure swing happened here, we took out this London session's high and then we dropped. So most limit order traders would have already set their trades, right? And they would not be wrong because now we've had a shift, right? They would have already set their trade like this. So something like this, where we have a hair, then probably targeting this level, right? Stop loss is above that high. And this like 6-hour setup. Let's see what happens. If there are confirmations for the sell, so I'm also going to inform. I'm going to show you. So let's play price and see what happens. I think my screen is off to one side. Let me center it. Oh, very beautiful. Oh, extremely pretty. Extremely pretty. So when we have price take out that London session high, we had it engulf, and then price mitigated a fair value gap around here, right? You can see my fair value gaps are being labeled around there. So that was very beautiful price action. Very beautiful price action. All right, so we'll see where price goes. So there are so many other entries, sell entries you can still be taking and taking and taking and taking till price goes down, right? So many other entries you could still be taking and taking and taking. So we just keep waiting till price sweeps that level before anything else. And you know that every break or structure, every time price breaks a level, every time price is making a new break, we still expect for that downward push. Every break that price makes, oh beautiful, we finally got into targets. Every break that price makes, we expect a further downward move. So this is like 6-hour. Price has gotten to the take profit. Price has swept this liquidity off, and price has rejected above. Right now, price has not swept any form of liquidity, so I may not want to take lower time frame wise. I may not want to take any trade, but on the higher time frame, I could have a demand here, and I will take my trades. Right, lower time frame, higher time frame, I may have a demand, and I'll take my trade. But on the lower time frame, I will not want to take any trades because price has just not done anything based on the rules I actually would have kept for myself, whatnot. So that's very beautiful. 6-hour, very very clean. Now let's look at what happens in the future. And funny thing is, some persons might also still be able to enter trades like this and win, right? But it's not following the rules of what I'm here to talk about. It's not following the rules of what I'm here to talk about. So this was the previous level. I want to see how price reacts above this level, both this level and also both this level. I want to see how price reacts above them. It will determine if that level becomes like another block for me, or we start looking for price to come into any of these levels, because I think we have price feed into this FVG, and let's just see what happens. The volume is a lot because price just swept a form of liquidity, right? Oh, gracious Lord. You can see how that expanded above, right? You can see how that expanded above. So typically, I would want to have price feed into this breaker block. Price feed into this breaker block for continuations. So we also have now a valid shift, right? A valid shift. So let's see what happens in coming days. Let's see what happens in coming. I'm going to try to pinch in and zoom as many times as possible, but in cases where I do not, please help yourself zoom the screen in, because the screen I use is a 34 inches screen. So help yourself and zoom it in places where you do not understand. So typically you're going to be on your desk at this point waiting for price to sweep any sessions low or high. When price gets to that level, you know what to do, right? So we've just swept the New York's Asian session. Okay, we swept the Asian session, and the London has not really given any change in state of delivery, because we have all these highs. This high was not taken. I need to bring up this tool. Stop stressing me. This high tool was not taken. Where is that? What is that? This high tool was not taken. Like, so literally price has just been dropping. That was not really confirmed change in state of delivery. So I may expect that price sweeps the London session low into this particular key level, right? So let's see what happens, and gives a valid shift though. Okay, we have that. So we just keep waiting until we see a sweep of the London. Until we see a sweep of the London into that level. You can even see a distance safe. But we can see that very, very beautiful. Can you see that? Very beautiful. Price engulfs this mitigating candle, right? And typically you'd want to have your entries here. Take profits here. And your stop loss is below that low. 4.5 hour, right? 4.5 hour. You can still hold for more if you're a person who likes to trade for more. Are we hitting targets? Are we hitting targets? 4.5 hour. If you leverage this on MT5 or MT4, you'll be in for a lot of money, right? You'll be in for a whole lot of money. Alright, so that leaves us with a new demand, right? A new demand. Remember, we're on the lower time frame, so all these demands will be looking so big to you. Limit other traders, you could probably scale up the time frame, you could go up the time frame. But this video is basically for lower time frame traders. So we have the demand, forget how big it is, you still come down to something as small as this when you get your confirmations, right? So the video has been going on and on. It's over 37 minutes, my longest video yet, because I'm trying to show you so many examples. It's a lot on the chart, it's so much. You could actually go on your own and watch them, especially the majors, right? I don't know about the minor pairs, but the majors, they respect this rule so much. So we want price to create a new high before creating a new low. I want to see how price comes into that point of interest. I want to see how price fits into that point of interest. I think we have a new high in. The new high is in. We have the London session approaching. Our new high is in, right? And we have the London session approaching. So typically maybe the London session that gets cleared. Who knows? Let's see. But we want to see a session being cleared on that level. Okay. So now we've gotten into the level and we've cleared the London, right? Let's see if we have a proper change in states of delivery. Okay. So not yet. We may clear the New York's low, right? Because we didn't have any changes of delivery here. So we may clear this New York's low. So probably now a lower time frame trader can basically put, because that demand zone is valid, he could actually make an exception of putting his entries here, and we have something like this where we have price here, and then we have our SL to be here. So this is 6.9 hour, right? 6.9 hour, or you could just make it 6 just to be safe. 6 hour, right? Let's see. We need price to clear that low of any session at all. Oh, price does not. Did it. It needs to. Oh, beautiful. It did. So price has actually cleared. Let me not block you. Let me show for those persons who will now be using confirmations. We want to see price go above this level, because this looks, in fact, this looks like a block. This looks like a block, a valid reclaim block. If you've watched my video on that looks like a valid reclaim block. So let's see how price goes above it. Let's see how price closes above it. All we know is that if price closes above it successfully, our take profit, our entry is going to be like something like this, where we have our stop loss right below this low, and then we have our TP on the same high, right? So this is now a 3-hour setup. Although some persons who do not fear can just put their stop losses somewhere here. In as much as price closed above that high, we now have a change in state of delivery, and we don't expect price to come that low again here. So let's see what happens there. Oh, beautiful. Price comes above it. Would price come down to it? Beautiful. Price comes down into it, and then boom, see what happens. We have price dragging slowly until we get to target, right? Okay, so you could even still take couple more entries if you're bored, right? Just follow the same rule, right? Find out areas that are unmitigated, and then expect price to clear a session low. As long as it's a buy, expect price to clear a session low into that point of interest. So this is a point of interest. Let's see what happens when price gets there. If luckily price actually is able to feed into it and clear a low, you could still have more interest. So the Asian session is closed. Price has cleared the Asian session. Can see it. Price has cleared the Asian session's low. So we'll see if we have a change in states. Okay, you can see that. You can see that. You can see that. And you could even have more entries. So you could actually have more entries though, and you could also target higher than this, I think, because if you're trading it from like a vantage point, by vantage point I mean like you've gone up the time frame and you probably know, okay, yes, price is going to take out this high, or price is going to take out that high, or price is going to come this much high, then you start to actually put your take profits at those levels. But I always recommend putting take profits at the highs, because the highs are where price is drawn. So that's the high that is visible to you, are where price is drawn immediately to. But let's just see what happens. I think it's going to go further than this, because I was currently on this trade. When was that again? Was it on Friday? I forgot since I'll be on Thursday. Oh, boom. Can see that very clean. So you have here is like 6 hour, 4 hour, 6 hour, and literally your wallet is already smiling at you. You could decide to take a vacation at this point. You could decide to do whatever it is. Anyways, that has been it. I'm tired to go further at this point. Let's not make the video boring for those who want to watch. So you could actually look it up, or I could maybe consider, whenever I'm bored, I could do another video for sell, right? Because I fully focused on buys, so I could probably do another video for sales, and would see how and what principles we could actually follow for sell, lower time frame sales, right? Although I'm not a fan of sales, but I'm more of buys. Buys are easier to actually predict and to have. Anyways, with that being said, I have come to the end of this video. Please do like, recommend, share to your friends who are struggling with lower time frames. They could actually watch the video and get enlightened, and you could be doing them a great deed. Also join my Telegram channel of Early Traders. You get to know every single update I have firsthand over there, and everything as regards my services you get to know from the Telegram channel firsthand. This is definitely not the end. I'm going to see you in a new video. Do take care of yourselves, and goodbye.